We weren't meant to know what we look like in real life. We're accustomed to mirrors, to cameras, to social media, to basically having the ability to pick apart every single detail of our appearance at any time of day. But a long time ago, all we had were bodies of water to maybe catch glimpses of our reflections and just go about our day. Now, I do think that beauty is important. This may be a hot take. You could express your thoughts in the comments or something. But in my opinion, beauty is when you're able to present yourself well, hygienically, like well-kept hair, not having bad breath or a putrid smell coming out of you, and dressing to the occasion. For example, wear something nice to someone's formal event and don't show up in a t-shirt with holes in it. And eat well, because after all, you are what you eat. But beyond that, though, the moment our society as a whole encouraged a specific beauty standard that is ever changing, for example, a bigger lips, a slimmer body, a small nose, just things like that, at this point it becomes vanity. It's no longer beauty. It's just people wanting to conform to the standard in order to fit in. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about social media. I have one story, specifically the TikTok inverted filter. I don't know if you've been subjected to it, but essentially it inverts your reflection, so it's supposed to show what you actually look like in real life. Because when you look at like a mirror or just at your phone's camera, apparently it doesn't actually show what other people see. So when you invert it, that's what the point of the filter is, right? So the fact that this filter exists and the fact that it's caused so much, pain, I deleted TikTok for the very reason that stuff like this happens. When I still had it, I saw a bunch of videos of people complaining about how they looked like and being like, oh my gosh, that's actually how I look like in real life. So the fact that it's ruining people's self-esteem is reason enough to show how twisted and how far society has come from recognizing actual beauty. So the point of this story is that society, represented by social media, is so toxic that we have pushed a deep critical analysis of our faces, which is incredibly vain. And we are all made lovingly by nature. We are nature. And I am Christian, so I would also say we are made in Imago Dei, or in the image of God. But my point is, we were made to maybe have asymmetries in our faces or stuff, but that is what makes us beautiful. Asymmetry makes us beautiful. And criticizing that and rejecting what we were born with to chase some unreal standard is vain, and it's self-destructive, and it's not a true representation of beauty. And I'm going to insert a minor story here. So growing up, I had a lot of thoughts before I would go fall asleep, and one of them would be, what if we were some experiment and somewhere else on another planet was the control group in which everyone looked the same? And what would it be like to live there? So just think about that. It would be so boring. There's no uniqueness, no sense of, as an artist, I want to say no sense of art. It's nice to see a different features and stuff. If everyone looked the same, that would be so disconcerting and robotic and just weird. So we should be grateful that we all look different, and that is what makes us beautiful. And trying so hard not to be cliche here. I don't know how else to put it, And with all this said, I am part of the problem. Like I've said in episodes 1 and 2, in which I've talked about different topics, I am part of the problem, which is the reason why I've thought through these things. Again, I think a lot right before I sleep or when I'm just taking walks in the neighborhood. But I'm always like, oh, I could always be skinnier. And I've always been self-conscious about my skin because I have more acne-prone skin. We're always chasing higher standards, which is good, it's always good to improve, but then it reaches a certain point where it becomes vanity. At the very basis, vanity is bad because it's one of the 7 deadly sins. It goes under pride. But equally as importantly, we forget what beauty really is. And that leads to my solution. It's time that we remember what beauty really is, and that is a combination of two things. Number one, I've mentioned before, might be a hot take, is how you present yourself. In other words, hygiene and showing that you love yourself enough to take care of your body. Number two, how your soul presents yourself. And in that, I mean being a good person. The most attractive trait is having a good heart, and this is actually backed by scientific research, so I'm going to insert a specific quote from this article. When considering a partner's behaviors directed toward oneself, both sexes should prefer partners who are extremely high in kindness and trustworthiness. So for example, when I think of people who are attractive in real life, the people that come to mind all have one trait in common, which is that they are all good people. Beauty is very much a game of perception, and what chips away at someone's beauty is when they just hold repulsive behaviors like maybe insulting others, being unnecessarily aggressive, and just in general being a mean person. That really does make all the difference. And what we really must keep in mind when you think of a person that you dislike, it's not, oh, I dislike so-and-so because they currently do not have clear skin, or because they are not skinny enough, or just something obscure like that. No, when you dislike someone, it's because they're just, maybe they're rude, maybe they're obnoxious, maybe they kick babies for fun, I don't know. So in conclusion, when we focus too much on the mirrors that are ever so available to us, when we focus on social media or staring at our phone's camera every 30 minutes or so to make sure we look fine, this acute awareness to our outer appearances becomes vanity, and it takes away from what true beauty is. And if there's anything you've learned from my past YAP sessions, it's that social media really is a poison. Get off social media. Stop focusing on the posts that you see, the reels you watch. All this content that our brain consumes, it really is rewiring our thought process, and it's fueling toxic societal standards. Everyone is beautiful and attractive once they're able to heal their soul. And this not only refers to what I've mentioned before, which is having respect for yourself to be hygienic and also being a person with good intentions. Healing your soul also means being happy on the inside, because the most beautiful people are the ones who are able to smile and be grateful for life, and that comes from not having a pessimistic point of view. That is really attractive.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out. Weezy out.
Lot of money, I can have a cash. Boy flew back, cross the water with a pad.